Catherine Anaya, and welcome to MHGTV. In this episode of My Lifestyle, we are talking architecture with one of the best. CP Druitt of Druitt Works Architecture tells us what is trending in architecture. At Druitt Works Architecture in Scottsdale, architecture is about more than just designing buildings.
Most of the time when I describe architecture, I describe it as a marriage. An architecture is a marriage of an architect to a client, art to science, a building to a site. All those are just like little sequences of marriages and how things connect.
CP Druitt, founder of the award-winning Druitt Works Architecture, has been making these architecture connections with clients for nearly 20 years. Half his work is residential, with a strong presence in Paradise Valley. The other half involves hospitality work, resorts, clubhouses, and multifamily homes, including the Ritz-Carlton estate homes.
We try to find the bare essence of all the solutions, really focus on natural materials. So I hope there's a certain organic order to our architecture.
Would you say that the majority of your clients are leaning toward one kind of style than the other these days?
I think most everyone that comes in here has an appetite for modernism. So we find that as our kind of denominator here.
In fact, when it comes to what's trending in architecture, CP says modernism is right up there with what he sees homeowners moving toward when it comes to style.
But I think there's more that it's more available, so that it's available for consumption. So I think more people are learning and growing to appreciate it.
Another trend CP says he sees developing is renovation. He says a lot of people in certain areas living in homes that are now 20 years old are starting to buy and rebuild because there's a scarcity of land in Scottsdale.
I think specifically in our marketplace, the planned communities, golf course communities that we saw developed in Scottsdale, North Scottsdale, the land is it's at a minimum. And I think that we're going to find more and more of these communities investing themselves in renovation work. And I think that's going to be kind of the next layer, because they're gorgeous communities. And for the most part, architecture's outstanding because they had good design review boards that were at the helm, making sure that everything was done properly.
CP is also watching a design trend he says is a throwback to what he calls adaptive or social spaces that aren't as centered around the TV.
I think people are wanting to talk to people again. And bars were really big in the 90s, and sort of the sit around bar and you just belly up and talk to your friends. And they went to the wayside for quite some time, but we're getting a lot of requests for those again. And I think it's just that people really want to engage one another in conversation, and that's less about technology.
He's also noticing more people opting for smaller homes, but with more emphasis on outdoor living. We're seeing a lot of outdoor spaces becoming more reflective of what's happening inside, right?
It's almost a full repeat now, where when we're developing outdoor spaces, I literally consider everything just as a room as the interior, whether it's a formal outdoor space or more of a great room expression on an exterior space. And the kitchens are getting more and more advanced on the exterior. People are making pretty large investments because of this amazing environment that we live in, maybe half the year, right? That just, you can be outside and really not even have to enter your home.
If you are looking to implement some architecture trends into your home, CP says you don't have to have a certain knowledge of architecture.
An architect will extract out of you what's necessary to craft space for you. Because we need to be students of our clients. So I need to learn how you live, what's important to you. What do you need when you unplug? What does home mean for you? And then once you compile that data, and we've made great studies of our clients, then we're able to craft space for them.
But you do need to know that the architect you're going to invest with is going to be equally invested in your needs.
With that, there needs to be a certain amount of chemistry. I think there needs to be a foundation of trust. One of our calling cards is stewardship. That's something that I preach around here a lot. That's our job, is to steward the land, steward budgets, steward people's expectations, but all that's got to be near and dear. And I think that's something that's needs to be a large focus, because it's not, we're selling service, but it's not an object. It's much more.
Mm-hmm. Druitt Works Architecture has a staff of 22, 4 of them in Serbia. Remember, you can subscribe to MHGTV at MHGTV.com. I'm Catherine Anaya. I'll see you next time. And you can catch all of our episodes of MHGTV at the My Home Group YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.